you tell us a little bit about what we just heard now? We had Atacama Desert Night and the Self-Enclosed Nightmare.
Right. So that was about. It was originally commissioned by a Chilean pianist. So he asked me to use. It's a kind of interesting story. He asked me to use Chilean traditional music. I never done it before, so I went on and listened to all the traditional Chilean rhythms, cuecas, tonadas, and so I kind of put them into the piece, the first one. And so yeah, he said it's going to be for this big festival for the embassy. So the president is going to come and it's going to be a big deal. So I gave him the piece and then he just vanished, and I never heard from him. Like not a pip. Like he wouldn't answer the phone, no email, nothing. He just disappeared. So
you think it was too hard or something, or what
was
do you think?
I think it was just cursed.
Oh.
By the music, because it's inspired by the Atacama Desert.
Oh, right.
I was telling you, yeah. Like how it's so dry and salty, like that corpses don't dry.
Right, the corpses naturally mummify in this environment because it's so dry, and this was preceding the Egyptians.
Exactly.
So it's just a natural process that happens in the desert. So you think there was a curse because of this?
Yeah, maybe it's just cursed.
Okay.
Right up in the desert somewhere.
And then the last piece, A Self-Enclosed Nightmare. Right?
That
was
the last piece. Was about how I came to the conclusion one day that my life just consisted of a series of nightmares, that I was just waking up on a nightmare within a nightmare. First my dad died, and I got kicked out of the country, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened. But then it just was kind of interesting because those changes forces you to confront a lot of things about yourself and about the world. So it was kind of positive in a way.
It was a release, kind of, right?
Yeah. And I do like when I do have nightmares, I like them, I enjoy them. It's like a kind of like a film experience, and I try to induce myself into a nightmare stage.
I'm sorry. All right. Thank you for sharing that one. That's interesting. So for your last piece, El Discurso del Oso, it's for guitar, keyboard, and you also have a short story playing, right, by Julio Cortázar.
Yeah, Julio Cortázar it's one of my favorite Argentinian writers. I sort of grew up reading his stories, and our lives are very similar in a way. We kind of grew up alone and on our own, like in a world of our own, just kind of sick and just making up our own world. So this is one of my favorite stories. It's very short, and I used a fragment of a recording I found of himself reading this piece, and I kind of split it and use it as a way to format the piece. So if you don't mind, while I set up, you can read the poem. Okay. In English, because I have an English translation.
Oh, do you have it with you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because I have the Spanish one here, but we're not sure if everybody would understand.
So whoever can read Spanish can read the Spanish.
Okay, so it's called Discourse of the Beer. I'm the beer in the pipes of the house. I climb through the pipes in the hours of silence. The hot water pipes, the radiator pipes, the air conditioning ducts. I go through the pipes from apartment to apartment, and I am the bear who goes through the pipes. I think that they like me because my hair keeps the conduits clean. I run unceasingly through the tubes, and nothing pleases me more than slipping through the pipes from floor to floor. Once in a while, I stick my paw through a faucet, and the girl on the third floor screams that she scalded herself. Or I growl at oven height on the second. And Wilhelmina, the cook, complains that the chimney is drawing badly. At night, I go quietly, and it's when I'm moving most lightly that I raise myself to the roof by the chimney to see if the moon is dancing up there. And I let myself slide down like the wind to the boilers in the cellar. And in summer, I swim at night in the cistern, prickled all over with stars. I wash my face first with one paw, then with the other, finally with both together, and that gives me great joy. Then I slide back down through the pipes of the house, growing happily, and the married couples stir in their beds and deplore the quality of the installation of the pipes. Some even put on the light and write a note to themselves to be sure to remember to complain when they see the superintendent. I look for the tap that's always running in some apartment, and I stick my nose out and look into the darkness of rooms where those beings who cannot walk through the pipes live. And I'm always a little sorry for them, heavy beings, big ones, to hear how they snore and dream aloud and are so very much alone. When they wash their faces in the morning, I caress their cheeks and lick their noses, and I leave, somewhat sure of having done some good.
So that's it. Oh yeah, and I brought, hold on. I brought Cortázar with me.
All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. El discurso del oso.